I'd like to invite our AVPN founding chairman, who is forever young at heart, Douglas Miller, to open the conference.
For those of you that know me, my motto is reject can't. My wife's motto is please be careful. So I'm exceedingly excited to be here today. This is our third annual conference, but our first Members Day. And it was done on behalf of the members who requested it, a slightly more intimate gathering. I think there's about 280 coming today. Obviously not all here. And at the conference itself, there's 480 plus who are registered. So I'd like to thank NUS for hosting us in this nice venue. I'd like to ask Andrew, Nana, Kevin, is Stacy around? Anyway, the AVPN team just to stand. We have 11 AVPN directors, so those who are in the audience, please stand. These individuals are exceedingly important. We had a all-day away day yesterday, and we're looking at the next 3 years and how we build off this present platform. Elisa is absolutely fundamental. Stacy, you understand? If you got in because of Stacy, because she's not only the gatekeeper, but she's the person who has handled all of the mechanics. So my job, and I'm probably already 3 minutes into my 6 minutes, but I'll ask for a little bit of leniency. But my job basically is just to kind of kick this off and remind everybody what the AVPN vision is. So the vision is to create a social capital market in both philanthropy and social investment across Asia. Why do we want to do this? Well, because we believe that there's vast needs out here, but there's vast resources of human, financial, and intellectual capital available, but there's no market to connect the available capital with the needs. We believe that by having increased transparency, a focus on efficiency, a focus on effectiveness, a focus on collaboration, long-term funding, all of the points of venture philanthropy, we can help that market start to function better. Realistically, that's going to take some time. So our rollout plan was as follows. We first of all had to what we call raise the flag or shake the tree, which is get the whole message out to the market. So we've spent the last 3 years on very intensive marketing. We then wanted to build the membership base, and as of today, we're at 213 members. The goal, which was established by the consultants when we were starting this, was to get to 100 in 3 years. So we're at 213 in 40 months, and thank you all, because you're the people who made it happen. We wanted to establish the Knowledge Center. You'll hear that that's the main focus of what we're about here today. And again, I urge you to go to their facility because that's fundamental to actually transferring knowledge, but also increasing the effectiveness of what each of our members do. And we wanted to create a platform for collaboration. Well, the network, and you're here, and what we call the social capital is created when you all interface and exchange ideas and find common interests. So this basically, yes, I'm so happy because this slide was not as I had wanted it for several times, and we've made adjustments. But we started with 13 members in our first year in Europe. It was run out of my son's bedroom. Today, we're at 400 and a bit, and that's only the first 4 months of this year. So at the end of the year, we expect to be 450 or better, and just to keep on growing. So I say it again and again, but SBS, which is success breeds success, which means every brick that you put in the wall helps you get to the next brick. and that's true in terms of membership, in terms of funding, and the like. AVPN is headquartered in Singapore, as you know. We have 8 full-time staff members and 4 part-time in Korea, Japan, and India. And EVPA is headquartered in Brussels with 15 staff members only in Brussels. This is just our membership by type. If you recall, we focus on 7 silos. Every silo is very important. We're penetrating that at a slightly different rate. Some convert easier than others. The 2 biggest groups are the venture philanthropy and the impact investing. We refer to them generically as VPOs, and they're the people who are at the coalface, and the other members who are associate members interface through them or directly. This is the membership broken down by country. You can see that Singapore has the biggest representation with 54. And we also have quite a large representation from outside of Asia, both the US and Europe. And these are organizations that have their headquarters in Boston or London or Amsterdam or Dublin, but who have an interest in engaging in philanthropy and social investment here. We have a good contingent from China, and a huge number of them are here, I think 40 in total. Good representation in India and across the map. 2015 is more of a focus on Southeast Asia. So Andrew, Nana, and I have been on an extensive marketing trip which covered Bangkok, Hong Kong, Manila, Jakarta, and KL. So that number will hopefully shoot up. So this is the most important slide. The rest of it is background. This is what you can do. You all are the home team. Thanks to Andrew for suggesting that term. But we're relying on you actually to help us build this ecosystem. So the first thing that we need you to do is we need a lot of examples and leaders and role models. So these are people that are operating, our members presently, who are operating successfully, and we want to help you raise your visibility, not only for your benefit, but for the benefit of growing the market in total. So successful examples. We need you as members, all of you, to reach out to others and say, look, this has been very valuable experience to me. We've had learning, we've had networking, et cetera, and please come and join. So whether we reach 300, 400, or 500, a lot of that is contingent upon your engagement. This venue is provided pro bono, but we incur a lot of other expenses, and we make a lot of investment in growing the industry. So ours is a really bad business model. We have a negative cash flow, which we are able to finance. But if anybody has ideas about potential sponsors or grant givers, they can see any of us, and we'll follow up right away. One of those happened this morning, and I will name the individual, but we're grateful that you started our day off on such a high. Collaboration on organizing events, that's another thing. So the 5, 6 countries I mentioned, all of those were events that were organized by local members, and we came in and hopefully added some value. The next 3, the last 3, are all about collection of data and collection of information about our members and our ability to have a publication which profiles the Asian industry in total. And that's very important to increase the visibility not only in Asia, but in Europe and the US. Kevin is once again stepping up to lead that. We need to understand your impact down at the coalface with children and education and health, et cetera. So your role will determine a lot about our success. So success at this conference, networking, there'll be a lot of that. Knowledge sharing, a lot of that. Learning, best practice, inspiration. So if you have good adrenaline and good energy, you can make a lot of things happen. Fun comes into that, people who are having fun. I'm actually having part of the most fun of my life going around doing this, because I meet interesting people and we can see success moving forward. But if you approach it as fun as opposed to work, you'll achieve more. I hope you leave with new ideas, and more specifically an action plan, so it's not get on the plane or go back to your office and say, well, that was interesting. Make sure you take away something that's going to improve what you do. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a good conference, and I hope that I can interact with the vast majority. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. Success breeds success. Next year, we're going to build a higher platform on stage, so he's going to try to do an even higher job. Exactly. Anyway, thank you very much, Doug. It's time to invite AVPN CEO Naina Batra to come up on stage and give us an update on the AVPN.
Good morning. It's always a hard act to follow Doug, and especially in a sari, because I cannot in a sari jump up on the stage. So that's my excuse, but welcome. It's great to see all of you. It's great to see so many friends around the room. This is my second year at AVPN, and I'm delighted to say that the faces have become more familiar. I know a lot of the names, and it's like, you know, welcoming people home to your AVPN conference, because this is very much your conference. It's your network. The network belongs to you, and these are your 3 days to meet, to network, to see what we can help you with, and to make a difference. So I'm really glad to see so many of you here. Just a quick presentation just to bring you up to date on what we've been up to. Doug's covered a fair amount. We've had a spectacular growth, and I have Doug, Simon, and the AVPN board to thank for the enormous launch pad that we got to reach this place. We are 213 members across 27 countries in just 3 years. That's phenomenal. That's because of all of you going out there and telling your friends, telling your colleagues about how you see AVPN bringing value. We've had significant partnerships that we've managed to develop over the course of these 3 years. Rockefeller Foundation, Nehemiah Foundation, Shell Foundation, BMW Foundation, and the EDB here in Singapore have all helped us to actually create this platform to take social investing across Asia. We've grown from a team of 4 to a full-time staff of 9 people, along with a very, very committed group of volunteers and pro bono staff that are here, that have put together this fabulous content, that are here to make the conference a success, and much more beyond the conference to actually help make your efforts a success. So that's great. And what do we have to show for this? It's a very preliminary study, but I can tell you that till now, our members have contributed more than $360 million towards the social sector across Asia. So I think that in itself tells you a lot about what platforms and ecosystem enablers like AVPN can achieve. If I look at what we've done, we've grown and we've expanded our presence across Asia. As Doug mentioned, we're headquartered here in Singapore, but we have a local presence in Japan, in Korea, and in India. I'd like Ken to stand up. Ken Ito is our partner in Japan. Ayong, can you stand up? Ayong is here from Korea. I'm not sure if we have Saloni here yet. I think she's on a flight here and hasn't reached. But we have a consultant on the ground, Saloni, who looks after our India operations. We're also, in the course of this past year, have been trying to build a core group of members in Korea, Indonesia, Thailand, and Japan. And I'm delighted to report that we have double the members we had from Korea. So a big delegation here from Korea. Big hand to you guys. Thank you for coming. 26 delegates from Japan, which is great. Indonesia, Thailand, we've got a big group from Thailand, a big group from Indonesia. So AVPN's presence is growing. And of course, as Doug mentioned, I think 40 delegates from China. So great to have you here. We've held our first AVPN events in the Philippines, in Jakarta, and in Bangkok this year. So hoping to definitely increase that, do more engagement, work closer with our members in these countries, and try and see how we can expand the footprint of AVPN going forward a lot more. As Doug mentioned, you guys are our biggest assets. We need you to establish the network. We need you to go out there and spread the word. We are fairly thinly staffed to support the whole of Asia, but we have 213 members who are an extension of the AVPN family. So please go spread the word. If I talk to you about the kinds of events, and this is where I mean that our resources are spread a little thinly, this is just in 2015. These are the number of events we had from January to April in 2015. We've covered, as you can see, a large variety. And I'd like to apologize to my Australian members and friends from Australia. Unfortunately, our map that covers where our members come from doesn't have Australia. But you can see Australia here because we did do a series of events there earlier this year. And I'm sure and I'm confident that we're going to increase our footprint in Australia. If I actually break it down in terms of the number of events that we've done in the last 12 months since I saw you last at the conference, we've had 3 newsletters, 7 webinars, 9 roundtables, 3 funds, and 33 conferences and seminars that we've spoken at as a team. The conference this year goes bigger and bigger every year. I worry and I wonder where we're going to be 5 years down the road. The team has been fabulous in putting this together. We have 475 delegates, 25 sessions, and 98 speakers. What is phenomenal about our conference and what sets it apart is that our speakers are all practitioners. They come from your ranks. You guys are telling your stories, you're sharing your experiences and your learnings. It's not a conference where you have theoreticians who come and tell you how to do something. Our conference is for practitioners by practitioners. And I think that's what attracts so many of you to make the journey to Singapore. I think out of our 475 delegates, I'm told 298 are flying in from outside Singapore. That's a huge testament to the value that the AVPN conference brings. And I thank you for making the effort to come all that way and do that for us. I just wanted to quickly recap on some of the key initiatives that we've been working on and that we've been busy with. I'll start with the India update. We've established AVPN India as an independent entity registered in India. We've got 23 country members. We have 60+ members across the network who have significant interests in India. And we've done 3 pretty high-profile events in India this year, which have helped us establish the brand. The reason for the focus in India has also been spurred on by the Companies Bill, which actually mandates that corporates above a certain size set aside 2% of their net profits to spend on CSR. And I'm extremely honored that we have the person who authored that bill to come and speak about it at our conference this year. So welcome, Dr. Chatterjee. Good to have you here at the conference. If I go on to the China update, this is something that I think my colleagues Andrew, Stacy, and Patty should take a lot of credit for. We are now at 25 members from China. While 25 may not seem like a big number given the size of China, it is now our 2nd largest grouping of members. Singapore being the highest, China is the 2nd largest, and I'm very confident that we're going to double or treble that by next year. We are trying hard to establish a local partnership and a local presence in China. I understand, and I'm saying this not from personal experience, but I do understand it's been an uphill task. I would like to reach out to all the delegates who've come from China to see how you can help us do this. We would like to be there much more in China. We'd like to see and how we can supplement your efforts to grow a social investing platform in China. So please reach out to Andrew, reach out to Patty, reach out to Stacy if you have ideas about people we should be talking to, people we should be collaborating with. Now I come to my favorite part of my presentation, which is the AVPN Knowledge Center. This is something I am very, very proud of. And as you can see, I have a number of badges. that are on my lanyard. The AVPN platform is going to be the thrust and the focus area of everything we do going forward. And which is why I would like to urge you, our members, to make sure you go through the knowledge showcase, which is just behind you, outside the rear doors, kind of on your right, veering to your right. Please go to that room. Please go see firsthand what do we mean by the knowledge showcase. It's divided in three parts. We have the capability development model. There's targeted networking, which I think most of you should have experienced by now through the connector. And there is the knowledge showcase. Next. If I look at, just to walk you through what you're going to expect when you walk into that room, there is a CDM wall. What is the CDM? The CDM is the capability development model that we have developed based on what we think are the 5 important principles of venture philanthropy. They are pre-deal processes, so effective due diligence, capacity building, portfolio management, impact measurement, and multi-sector collaboration. The CDM wall talks about each of these 5 practice areas. There is the connector demo, and there are surveys. All of us in this room are doing one of these 5 pillars, sometimes 2, sometimes 3, and in my case, all 5. But we're all doing some of these practice areas. I think it would be very interesting to go to the knowledge showcase, do the survey, and see where you are an expert and where you think you would like to do a little bit more. Because while AVPN has always been a platform and a connector connecting you to potential partners, to potential resources, we thought we would take it one step further going forward. We thought we would actually help you in one of these 5 practice areas to either get deeper, if that's what you wanted to do, to learn a little bit more, if that's what you want to do, or to share your expertise. And the only way we can do that is by having you come in, fill in that survey, and tell us where you are on these 5 practice areas. Now, what I would like to individually also request each one of you to do is, if you think we're missing something, you think we've left out an important practice area, you think something could have been covered a little bit differently, tell us. This is what we want to know, because like I said, going forward, the thrust of AVPN will be along these 5 practice areas. What we also have on one wall, and this is something else which I think all of you should be very proud about, are case studies. All of these organizations are not yet covered. We have about 7 of them that have been covered thus far, but we hope in the course of the year ahead to actually cover most of these organizations. These are all AVPN members. And they're all AVPN members that are doing phenomenal stuff, whether it be in the area of due diligence, whether it be in terms of impact measurement, whether it be in terms of managing a large portfolio of social purpose organizations that they have invested in. We have actually captured 7 case studies thus far from these organizations, which will give you an idea how these 5 principles work in practice. I think it's very important, especially for us as part of an Asian network, to share our own stories, to take our stories from one country to another, to share our successes, to share where we faced significant challenges and where we've had to do some sort of course recovery. What is phenomenal to me is that all these cases come from Asia. And I think if you remember Doug's slide about the growth of EVPA and AVPN, I think there'll be a time when we'll be taking a lot of these case studies to the rest of the world and talking about how in Asia we've brought venture philanthropy, we've grown the network, what have we done with social investing. So guys, a big pat on your back for all the work that you've done in these organizations. As I mentioned, when you do the survey, we will have this very high-tech spider diagram that will come, that will tell you where you are in a particular practice area and where you may think you might need some help or you would like connections to people who are doing it in a different way that you might like to know a little bit more about. And once you've done the survey for your efforts, we will give you a button. And these buttons are highly prized. You would like to get one. At least I hope to see at the end of day 3, everybody with at least one button. So please, please go to the knowledge survey, take the survey and get a button. Finally, as I said, there are 300 delegates from member organizations that are registered for the conference. It's great to see so many of you here. It's great to see all of you who are friends, almost family for us here. As Doug mentioned, we need your help to grow the network. We need your help to become more effective, to become, widen our scope, widen our reach. Share your stories, talk to people, inspire others, use the connector to reach out and connect with others. In case you're looking for somebody, reach out to anybody with a red lanyard. They will help you. Make sure, find what you're looking for. If it's a particular person, if it's a particular room, please do enjoy it. And most important, tell us how we can do better. Tell us how we can do better at next year's conference. Tell us how we can do better as a network. Fill in the evaluation forms. You can do them either through the program booklet, where there is an enclosure on an evaluation, or you can do it online, or you can even do it when you go to the Knowledge Showcase. So there are lots of ways you can tell us what you want us to do, and as Doug mentioned, have fun. Great to see you all here. Welcome again, and I hope you enjoy AVPN's third conference. Thank you.